In this lecture, we are going to study the classification of systems based on phase angles and the concept of gain and phase margins through polar plot. Let's see three cases here. In the first case, we have a system in which all the poles and zeros lie in the left of S-plane. Such a system is known as minimum phase system. Now in the second case, we have a system where one or more poles or zeros lie in the right half plane. But of course, there can be poles and zeros in the LHP, but one or more poles or zeros lie in the right half plane of S-plane. Such a system is known as non-minimum phase system. Now, as a third case, we have another system in which all zeros or poles lie in the right half plane. Correspondingly, we have poles or zeros symmetric to the imaginary axis on the left half plane. Such a system is known as all-pass system. So if we compare the phase angles of these three systems, you will notice that phi1, that is phi minimum phase system, that is angle of the phase angle of the minimum phase system will be less than the phase angle of the all-pass system, less than the phase angle of the non-minimum phase system. We will see the importance of this later. This is just the definition. Okay. Now, if minimum phase system provides minus 90 degree, then all pass system will provide minus 180 degree and non-minimum phase system provides minus 270 degree. So this, if these the phase angle values are like this, then it satisfies this particular condition. Okay. Now, let's see a transfer function. Let's take a transfer function, which is s plus 1 into s minus 2 divided by s plus 3 into s plus 5. Now, without this s minus 2, what type of system is this? Without this term s minus 2, we have 0 in LHP, both the poles in LHP. So basically all the poles and zeros are in LHP. Then the system is a minimum phase system. But because of this term s minus 2, we have 1 0 on the RHP, right, which makes the system a non-minimum phase system, because if one or more zeros or poles are there on the RHP, even if we have poles or zeros in the LHP, it is known as a non-minimum phase system. So this term s minus 2 makes this system a non-minimum phase system. In its absence, it is a minimum phase system. Now, if you multiply this transfer function, multiply and divide this transfer function by s plus 2, we will get s plus 1 into s plus 2 divided by s plus 3 into s plus 5 into s minus 2 by s plus 2. We have taken this s minus 2 to this side. Okay, so this is what we get. Now, the first term is s plus 1 into s plus 2 divided by s plus 3 into s plus 5, which is a minimum phase system. All poles and zeros are on the left half plane. Now, what about the second term, s minus 2 by s plus 2? This is an all-pass system because we have a pole on LHP and we have a 0 on RHP. Both are symmetric to the j omega axis also, to the imaginary axis also. So this is an all-pass system. And we are multiplying these two terms, right? So if we take the angles, how will you find the angle? These angles can be added, right? We'll take the angle of this term, we'll take the angle of this term, and we'll add it, right? So the angle of the non-minimum phase system, which is given here, that is s plus 1 into s minus 2 divided by s plus 3 into s plus 5, which is simplified as, or which is otherwise written as this expression, right? So the angle of minimum phase system plus the angle of all-pass system gives the angle of non-minimum phase system. Okay, so that is what the angle of the phi nmps equals phi mps plus phi eps. So this is another condition, and this is the first condition which gives the definition of the minimum phase system, all-pass system, and the non-minimum phase system. Phi1 less than phi3 less than phi2, and also here angle of the non-minimum phase system can be written as a sum of angle of minimum phase system and the angle of all pass system. Now let's move on to stability and the concept of gain margin and phase margin through polar plot. We know the characteristic equation is 1 plus gh equals 0, which implies g of j omega into h of j omega equals minus 1. That is, the magnitude is 1, right? The magnitude of the open loop transfer function is 1. So in terms of decibels, we get it as 20 log 1, which is 0, right? Which is the beyond which the system is unstable. Now, what about angle of GH? Angle of GH is minus 180 degree because GH is minus 1 plus J0. So angle of GH is minus 180 degree. This we have already seen these conditions in the Bode plot and root locus, but I'm just repeating it here. The frequency at which the magnitude is 1 in linear scale and 0 in decibels is called the gain crossover frequency. We have already defined the gain crossover frequency, the frequency at which the magnitude of the transfer function, the open loop transfer function, is 1 in the linear scale and 0 in the decibel. That is 0 in the nonlinear scale. Decibel scale is a nonlinear scale, which we have seen in the Bode plot. This is called the gain crossover frequency. In the linear scale, if we have the path projection of roots of characteristic equation, then the frequency at which the path intersects the unit circle would be gain crossover frequency. You see the polar plot here. In the polar plot, we know that we are drawing this from suppose omega equals 0 to omega equals infinity. So this is the path projection of roots of the characteristic equation. At some point, it intersects the unit circle. That means the magnitude is 1 at this point, right? The magnitude is 1 at this point. That means this is the corresponding frequency is known as the gain crossover frequency. Similarly, at this point, the angle is minus 180 degree, right? So this, the corresponding frequency is known as the phase crossover frequency, right? Phase crossover frequency. So now we will see the conditions for stability based on phase crossover frequency, gain margin, and phase margin. The frequency at which the phase angle is minus 180 degrees is called the phase crossover frequency. Mathematically, the gain margin is equal to the reciprocal of magnitude of open loop transfer function at omega equals omega phase crossover frequency. That means if we want to find the gain margin, we will first find the reciprocal of magnitude of the open loop transfer function at phase crossover frequency, right? What is the implication of this? It is a factor by which the system gain increases to drive the system, drive it to the verge of instability. It is a factor by which the system gain increases to drive the system to the verge of instability. The system gain increases in the sense, if gain is increased, means if one more block is there with the system transfer function, which is an extra gain. Suppose we add a gain K1, then it's like multiplying the transfer function with K1, right? Or multiplying the magnitude of the transfer function with K1. So if we multiply with this particular gain, then the system will move to the verge of instability. So that margin gives the gain margin. So we'll see an example and we'll check this whether this implication is right or not. In the figure, suppose in this figure, let magnitude at omega PC, that is the magnitude at phase crossover frequency, be 0.5. Then when we take the reciprocal of this magnitude, you will get the gain margin. So gain margin will be 2, right? Or we can say that when 0.5 is multiplied with the gain margin, you will get 1. What is the importance of this magnitude 1? It's at the verge of instability now, right? It's at the verge of instability. So from the existing position, if we multiply it with the gain margin, the system will move to the verge of instability. That's what. Now we will see the phase margin from the polar plot. So you see here another polar plot where two polar plots, where the first polar plot intersects the unit circle at point A, and the second polar plot intersects the unit circle at B. Okay. Now, for the system, for the first polar plot, the system for the first polar plot, what is the angle? The angle is phi, right? So this is 180 minus phi. This is 180 minus phi. It is evident from the above figure that point A corresponds to magnitude of GH equals 1, right? Here the magnitude is 1, so the corresponding frequency is known as gain crossover frequency, right? Gain crossover frequency. At this point, what is the angle? The phase angle equals theta, right? Not theta. This is phi. Okay, this phi, right? So this phi is this is phi, and this is 180 minus phi, right? This is 180 minus phi. Now the amount of additional phase lag at omega gain crossover frequency required to bring the system in the verge of instability. Here verge of instability is defined in terms of angle. The verge of instability is minus 180 degree. In the previous case, we took the verge of instability as magnitude equals 1. So there gain margin was defined. Here phase margin is going to be defined. If shifted by phi, if shifted by theta, this is not phi, this is theta. If shifted by theta, the plot passes through B, right? So the first system, if shifted by theta, this is not phi, this is theta. If shifted by theta, it will intersect this point, it will intersect at B, right? It will intersect at B. What is the peculiarity of the point B? The point B is at minus 180 degree. The angle is minus 180 degree. That is verge of instability with respect to angle, right? So this is the margin. This is the phase margin. Okay. If shifted by theta, the plot passes through B, which corresponds to theta equals minus 180 degree. So phase margin equals 180 degree plus angle of GH at omega equals omega gain crossover. So we need to first evaluate the angle at gain crossover frequency and add it to 180 degree to get the phase margin. Here gain margin in decibels is 20 log reciprocal of magnitude of the open loop transfer function at phase crossover frequency. Okay. Or if you want to avoid this reciprocal, then you can take it as minus 20 log GH, right? Magnitude of GH at phase crossover frequency. Okay. Now you see here you have three systems. For the first system, it is inside the unit circle. Then the second system, it goes through the unit circle. Then for the third system, the point at which it crosses minus 180 degree, that is outside the unit circle. Here the point at which it crosses the minus 180 degree point, it is on the unit circle. Here the point at which it crosses the minus 180 degrees inside the unit circle. Okay, so three different systems. Now, what is the peculiarity of this, the first system, the dark blue one? What is the peculiarity of this? Suppose we are drawing this from omega equals 0 to omega equals infinity. Then what is the how can we compare omega GC and omega PC? Here we can see that omega PC is greater than omega GC, because here it terminates at omega equals infinity and it starts at omega equals 0. So this omega is greater than this omega. So omega PCF is greater than omega GCF. This system is a stable system. It is inside the unit circle. It's a stable system. Now, if the point at which the plot crosses minus 180 degree is on the unit circle, suppose if it is on the unit circle, then what about omega PCF and omega GCF? Both are equal, right? So this is at the verge of instability, right? This is a marginally stable system. So for a marginally stable system, omega PCF equals omega GCF. Okay. Now the third one, the red one. For the red one, the point at which it crosses the minus 180 degree point, it is outside the unit circle. So what about omega GCF and omega PCF? Omega GCF is greater than omega PCF, right? Omega GCF is greater than omega PCF. Here is the omega GCF. Here is the omega PCF. Omega GCF is greater than omega PCF. So that is the condition for unstable system. Okay. Now We will see the gain margin and phase margin also. What about gain margin? For the first system, gain margin is, you need to take reciprocal of magnitude, right? For the first system, the magnitude itself is less than 1. So if you take the reciprocal, it will be greater than 1, right? Greater than 1. So gain margin greater than 1 for stable system. Now, or we can say that the gain margin is greater than 0 dB, 20 log 1. Here it will become 20 log 1, that is 0. So gain margin greater than 0 dB in dB scale. That is a condition for stable system. Now, what about the phase margin? Phase margin is positive for stable system. Positive in the sense, how will you get it? How will you find the phase margin? Phase margin we evaluate at gain crossover frequency, right? So here is the gain crossover frequency. So if you join these two lines and if you take 180 plus angle, right? 180 plus angle, then it will become 180 plus minus some angle, which is less than 180 degree. So 180 plus minus 5, where 5 can be 30 degree or 40 degree or 50 degree. So basically it will become 180 degree minus 40 degree or 180 degree minus 30 degree. So again it is positive. So phase margin is positive for stable system. Phase margin is positive for stable system. Okay, so 180 minus 5 is positive here. 180 plus minus 5 is positive here. Now, for the second one, the marginally stable system, what about gain margin? Magnitude is 1 itself, right? So if you take the reciprocal, you will get 1 itself. So gain margin is 1. Then what about phase margin? What about phase margin? Phase margin is 0. It need not be moved, right? Without any shifting itself, it is in the verge of instability. So gain margin is 0. Now you have the third system, which is an unstable system, right? Which is an unstable system. For an unstable system, gain margin is less than 1, or if it is less than 1, then 20 log of a value which is less than 1 will be negative, right? So in this is negative in terms of decibels, then phase margin is less than 0. So please use this figure to get the concept of phase margin, gain margin, phase crossover frequency and gain crossover frequency, and the condition for stability, instability and marginal stability through polar plot with the help of the mathematical definitions of the corresponding mathematical definitions, gain margin and for gain margin and phase margin. Thank you.